Click here to start streaming. There we go. All right, looks like it's finally working. Had some setup issues going on there. There we go. All right, how are we sounding? Just gonna get us a little background noise. Hopefully that works as well. Turn that down a little bit. Okay. Les Bateson, how's it going? Does this sound okay, man? Thanks for hopping in. This is really my first stream. I did one from my phone when I was in Fort Myers fishing for a little bit, and then I did a little test stream for about 4 minutes. So this is really my first little fuzzy. A little fuzzy. We recommend you use an audio stream bitrate. Audio stream's current bitrate 0 is lower than the recommended bitrate. Supposed to be in 1080. Settings, output. That looks good. Better now might have been me. Oh, so you think it could have been your connection. Well, hello, Amber. Welcome in. Okay, so that we should be good then. Okay. All this is kind of experimental, you see. That looks pretty good though. I hid my camera back there pretty good and made it look all cruisy and stuff. Speaking of that, we're going to let's switch over to this. See if y'all can see this real good here. We're going to look at some cruises. Now, I can't show the magic. I'm not allowed to show my software that I use as a travel agent. And I'm not even signed in. If you look here, this is asking me to log in. So this is all this that we're looking at tonight is stuff that you all can see. Just know that I can probably beat the deals that you're going to see here because I'll probably get a group rate. I'll probably get some extra amenities and things. But what we're going to do is just kind of look through some of these Alaskan choices. I've got Norwegian pulled up, who I love. Actually, Amber, yeah, that's the same Amber. We're actually going on a Norwegian cruise this summer on a group trip. A group cruise to the new, let's see, Great Tides Water Park, I think. And I think Cozumel's part of that itinerary. But we've got Alaska pulled up here. We've got Princess pulled up. Again, I'm not signed into any of these. These are not my cruise line or my travel agent accounts because I'm not allowed to show that stuff. Can't reveal the magic, you know. And we're under contract to keep certain things, NDAs and all that stuff. So we're not allowed to show our software that we use. But I'm so excited for that Pima cruise. Me too. Me too. And this one, just planning this one out. Now, we probably won't make any decisions, but probably what I'm going to do, Amber, is those of us that are interested in this Alaskan cruise for 2028, I'm going to end up, Alaska is amazing. Yeah, Lalana there is my franchise owner. And I work for her. And we're a team under Trade Winds Travel Team, which is a part of Dream Vacations. And one of the first things Lalana asked me when I became a travel agent was, where's your dream vacation? You know, where's your bucket list? And I told her Alaska, and she told me right then, she's, oh, we've got to go on an Alaskan cruise. Cause you just led an Alaskan cruise. Was that last summer? So, and what little bit of research that I've been doing here so far, and what I've read is, what's up, cabin girl? That's the bitter half right there. I mean, the better half. Sorry. Royal Caribbean, Carnival, MSC's throwing their name in the hat, and they've got some good prices, but we got to consider some things. A lot of different things to consider. For example, you can fly into one spot, like you can fly into Vancouver. You can fly into Whittier or Whittier, however you say it. You can fly into Anchorage. You can do the Seattle. Let's look at some of these. Like, say, here's a 10-day Alaska round trip, Seattle, right? So you can fly into Seattle and you can do a round trip there. For those of us that live in the States, which I imagine probably everybody watching is. Here's the thing you got to consider, though. Let's look at the itinerary. See if it shows a map on this one here, this 10-day. Yeah, see here. So we've got Seattle. You fly into Seattle and you cruise, and really all you're getting to see is the coastline, right? And because it's a round trip, you got to stop halfway and turn around and come back. Now, one of the popular things, and I'm pretty sure this is what Lalana did, you can correct me if I'm wrong, is I think she did the Denali Explorer, and we're going to look at some of that tonight and show you guys what I'm talking about. Now, it's going to add some cost on, but this is one of those once in a lifetime for me, probably, trips, bucket list trips. I don't want to go to Alaska and not see everything that you should see when you go to Alaska. So that's another reason that I'm doing almost 2 years from now, is so that it would give me time to pay it off. I'm a teacher. My wife's a teacher. You know, we're on those teacher salaries. So I would like to put down, you know, a cheap deposit, use my tax money when I get it, make payments on it, and get it paid off. Let's see what Lalana says here. We did do the land and sea. It is so different, and you need to do both if at all possible. Exactly. But just to kind of show you what I'm talking about. Now, this is a 10-day round trip Seattle. So what you do here, you got to stop halfway and turn around and come back. If you're going, what we are probably going to do, like Lalana did, is do a one-way where you fly in to, maybe you fly into Seattle or you fly into Anchorage or wherever, and you just go in one direction. There is no turning around and coming back. So you're going to be flying out of a different airport than you flew in on. And the reason that that's better is there is no going halfway and turning around and coming back. You get to see more ports because you're going in one direction and not having to stop halfway and come back. So you get to see more ports along the way. Plus you get to do what they call the cruise tour. And we're going to look at some of those here in a second. Where you go, take this, basically a railway with a glass dome, and Lalana probably rode on that, and it's probably beautiful, I would imagine. It would start in Vancouver for a northbound or fly into Anchorage for a southbound. That's what I was thinking. So and the type of map that we're on right here is probably not showing that, because this is the round trip that includes Hubbard Glacier, Skagway, and Juneau. This is a 10-day if you were going to do that. They are cheaper, but the thing about the cruise tour, as we're going to look at, you get to stay in some 4- and 5-star lodges. You get pampered. You get to go out and see Denali, get a chance to see the Big Five. My cousin went last month and flew into Seattle. She drove to Oregon and visited some must-see places I'd love to see. That's another thing, too, where you fly into. So you do the land tour before or after, pre-cruise or post-cruise. I would kind of like to do pre-cruise because you get a little more active and you're out there walking around, maybe doing some hiking, some sightseeing. Maybe you get a little tired, right? And then you get on the cruise, kind of like what we're doing this summer, guys. This summer, all about the pampering. That's right. This summer, Amber, cabin girl there. Sorry if I've missed anybody else. We are kind of doing that same thing, only not Alaska. So kind of not the same thing, but you know, words. We're going to Universal and Disney. We're going to be on that hot pavement walking around right in the summertime in July, I think. Late June or July, somewhere through there. And we're going to do that for a week, all those theme parks. We're going to be wore out. So we're going to do the cruise. That leads into our cruise, which leaves on a Friday or Saturday. Then we can get pampered and relax. You know, I think you want to do the cruise after you do all the walking and stuff so you can relax. First time we went, we flew into Seattle and took the Amtrak to Vancouver up the Pacific Northwest. Right along the coastline, absolutely beautiful coastline and train trip. Yeah. Yeah, well, let's look at some of this. I'm sitting here. Once you get me going, I'm a teacher. So once you get me going, I just sit there and keep on going. But if we were doing this one, I'm going to show all days here. We would fly into Seattle, you know, at sea, and then Juneau, Skagway. But see, this isn't a cruise tour. This is just, you know, you get off on the ports, these few ports here that you see here. And see, there's a tender port. If you don't know what a tender port is, that is when you don't really have a dock to port at, and you port out at sea, and then they take ferry boats to take. I don't like tender ports, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do. So I guess what it comes down to is you do what you can afford. I mean, see Alaska if that's the only way you can see it. But as for my group cruise that I'm going to put together, there's quite a bit of interest. There's about 40 some people on Facebook there that are interested in this. So I'm going to go back here. We're going to look at some of these others, and we want to do it right. We want to, you know, pay a little more, get to see everything that we want to see. But you see these prices here. Now that's another thing. And I made a video on this in the past week. These, when it says from $849, that means, I'm just going to be blunt, that's the worst room on the ship, okay? That's an inside stateroom. You got to reach down through a vent in the floor and help turn the propeller to propel the boat on forward, okay? You got to maybe shovel some coal, you know what I'm saying? No, it's not that bad. But a guarantee room, you could have the worst location. You could be right beside the loudest part of the ship, you know, back of the ship, lowest floor, you know, thumping on the walls, everything. That is the cheapest room on the ship. When you see that stuff, that's not a balcony room, okay? I exaggerate a little, just a little every now and then. But that $849 is going to be probably the less desirable rooms. But it's the same way when you see balcony rooms starting at $1,500. Yeah, it's got a lifeboat in front of you too. You know, it's an obstructed view or whatever. So the cheapest price they like to throw out there, they all do it. They're all guilty of it. But we'll be choosing our own cabins. I'll try to get everybody on the same floor. We'll try to get midship. So it's going to be a quality group cruise experience when I do it. But I'm just saying, when people, that's one of the things that kind of irks you a little bit as a travel agent. You see these people get on there and say, oh, I can book this room for $500 cheaper than what this travel agents offer me. And yeah, then they take the cruise and they take that guarantee rate and they wish that they had gotten to choose their own room. But anyway, look at that. There's a 16-day Vancouver to Honolulu, Alaska, and Hawaii. Let's just knock that right out. All right, we're going to get down here to the cruise tours. But you see what I'm talking here, Vancouver to Whittier. That's not round trip. You get to see more if it's not a round trip because you're not having to come back through places that you've already been. Okay, here we go. The 13-day Denali Explorer, and I hope Lalana's still in here because I do have this question. We're going to look at it, see if we can't find it out for ourselves. But this 13-day, or it's the 13 or the 12 or 11, the Explorers get a balcony because there's so much. Listen, I don't even care what cruise it is, Lilana. Whatever cruise it is, I'm doing balcony. Once I started doing balconies, I'm hooked. Like I don't cruise anything with balconies. The group that I'm taking out this summer, they're all balcony rooms. I ended up adding 2 inside rooms because a customer requested it. But listen, I've already got the balcony rooms down so low, $950. And the inside stateroom is $850. So $100 more, you get a balcony room per person. Why wouldn't you do the balcony room? You know, but that's not the case. That's on Norwegian. That's not the case on some cruise lines. You upgrade to a balcony and, you know, it might be $1,000, $1,500 more, but you just got to pay attention to that stuff. Now what I'm wondering is this express stuff, the pre-cruise cruise tour. This, I think it's the 12-day is the most popular one that's been booked. This one right here. This 12-day on the Norwegian Bliss is the most popular cruise tour. Start me off, Bougie. There's no going back. I know you're starting right off on a balcony room. This is going to be Amber's first cruise. And she's starting off on a balcony room. You're going to love it. I'm telling you. 12 or 14 day are both popular. Yeah, anywhere through there. Let's look. All right, let's start off looking at the Denali Explorer. This is the one, but you see it's $3,700, almost $3,800 per person, guys. Per person. Okay, I'm not going to sit here and tell you this is cheap. It's not. Okay, Hawaii was not either. I'm not going to tell you Hawaii is cheap, but we will get some knocked off because Norwegian, their groups team is amazing. They will discount. We will get a group fare. We will get a discount. So we gotta, you know, we're not really going to pay attention too much to the price because I am going to get some of that knocked off. But it isn't going to be cheap. I'm not going to lie to you and tell you it's going to be cheap. Go big or go home, Amber. There we go. All right, let's look. Let's look at the dates, for example, for now. We're not going to be... Now, one thing I am going to do is when we do get this group tour figured out, I'm not going to sit there and announce the dates that we're going on all over Facebook and everything. I don't like for people to know when I'm going on vacation. I'm one of those that post my pictures when I get back. You know, people can do what they want to do, but I don't like saying, hey, come break into my house. I'm not there right now. Okay. So, I'm not going to say what date we're going to choose, but let's look. Oh, there is somewhere that shows the 2028, the 2028 itinerary. I looked at it yesterday. I don't know why it's not on here, but the date doesn't really matter. Let's, well, this is July 2027. Let's just say we were going here. So it would be 4148. That's for an inside room. Oh, that's for an inside room. Oops. Balcony 5,000. Look at that. Now, go to the top and you will see the calendar on the top of the page to narrow it down. Oh yes, this is where young Padawan should have paid attention. Well, shoot. Dang it. I gotta do it up here. Yes, at the top. Ah, yeah, that's what it was. So I'm going to put July because more than likely I'm going to have to go sometime in July. Let's go back to that. Okay, I'm not seeing the cruise tours. Alaska. Now the cruise tours are gone. Cruise destinations, maybe. Yeah, let's just, for tonight, let's just look at 2027. There is a way, but we're going to end up wasting too much time. We'll just pretend we're looking at 2028 because they're going to be around the same price. All right, 12-day Denali Explorer pre-cruise tour. Let's look at it. Let's just look at the itinerary. So, 12-day Denali Explorer pre-cruise cruise tour. So what you're doing, you are arriving into Fairbanks and doing a land tour right there. Might hit you up with some questions about next week. All right, man. Hey, I hope you get a go, Les. That'd be awesome to get to meet. Les is a educator as well. That'd be sweet. Best month in your opinion is what? July. Well, for me, it has to be July because shoot, we're going to get out in late June. I don't want the stress of scheduling something in June and then we're still in school, you know, so just to play it safe, I like to go after sometime the last 3 weeks of July, somewhere in there. Yeah. And plus, you know, I guess it'd be warmer. Yeah. See you, Les. Thank you. All right. So we would arrive into, so you can click on these and it gives you a little more detail. So we would fly into Fairbanks, I would imagine. Get ready for an unforgettable journey in the days ahead. Please note, blah, blah, blah. You get your transfer from the airport. It's included. You see right there. So you land. They say, come here. Let's cater to you. Here you go. Hop in. And they take you. Surprisingly warm in July. Nice. So this is kind of the deal when I went to Sandals. You know, they were waiting for Sandals had its own little lounge. They took us right to the bus, took us right to the resort. So same kind of deal here. They will transfer you from the airport to the hotel. That's included. You'll know all that stuff beforehand, what time you'll probably be there and all that. Now, all right. So then you're probably just resting up on that one. So here we go. Land tour, Fairbanks, day 2. Rise and shine. It's Alaska time. All right. So we wake up in Fairbanks the morning. We enjoy a cruise on the riverboat Discovery. So you're not just getting a cruise on the Norwegian Bliss, I think it was, but you're also getting a riverboat cruise. How sweet is that? You'll witness a bush pilot take off and land beside the boat and hear stories of flying into remote Alaska firsthand. Immersed in frontier living. The guided walking tour of a recreated Athabascan Indian village. You'll see cabins made of spruce logs. I just love it already. I just think this would be amazing. Then after all that, you get aboard your deluxe motor coach for a city tour of Fairbanks before stopping in historic downtown for lunch on your own. So there you'll have lunch on your own. Transatlantic oil pipeline. All right, overnight in Fairbanks. There's the riverboat. It's a 3-hour journey there. Oh, wait. All right, overnight. Okay. So then here we have day 3. Oh, right here. This is what I like. Board your deluxe motor coach to travel to Denali National Park. That's where all the grizzly bears, all the animals are. More than just a mountain, Denali National Park, 6 million acres of wild land. After lunch on your own, your tour will take you into the pristine region of Alaska on the only road into and out of the park. Way enjoy fully narrated ride, learning about the flora and fauna of the area. Now, does this have the rail with the glass dome? Or not? And then, so we're on day 3 right there. Here's day 4. Denali and Anchorage. A morning kennel tour. You get to see the sled runners there. So those dogs, they teach you how to do the, well, they show you how they do the dog mushing with a sled dog kennel. The last great race. Then you go to Talkeetna by motor coach. Okay, here we go. So on day 4, we will, after Talkeetna, we continue on your journey south while traveling along the rails of the world-famous Alaska Railroad from the Talkeetna to Anchorage in a deluxe dome rail car. Full bar and meal service are available for purchase during your rail journey. All right, so there's the rail that takes you to Anchorage, it sounds like. And then at day 5, transfer to the Anchorage International Airport for your flight to Seattle to embark on Norwegian Bliss. Oh, so we have to fly again? You get to play with the puppies. This is not the tour you're going to want. Okay, good. This is why I needed you here. I especially invited Alon. I was like, point me in the right direction. But this is an option. We're going to discuss our options. So here it sounds like you fly into Fairbanks. And then after you finish your land tour, you fly from Anchorage to Seattle. Huh. Look for a cruise tour that is the land, and then you get on the ship in Whittier. Aha. Okay. Yeah, I think I would like that better. Okay, let's do that. And I just got a text. Okay, so good. I like cheaper. All right, let's. So is it going to be southbound then? Whittier to the north, then southbound? $11-day Anchorage Denali Express. Did you do the Express tour? Denali by Rail Explorer southbound. If land is first, then you do a southbound to Vancouver. You did. Oh, I can't do a 14-day. myself. I could do 11 or 12. That'd be missing too much work for me. Anchorage Denali Express, Fairbanks Denali Express. 12-day Denali by rail. There's Whittier. I bet you did the 14-day Authentic Alaska tour. I mean, I could put that option out there if people want to do a 14-day. I mean, if you're doing 12, might as well. Looking at the prices here, 11-day Anchorage Denali Express. Let me see this itinerary here. There's Whittier. So on this one, you arrive in Anchorage, then you do Denali for a couple days. Then you do some stuff in Whittier, and then you get on the ship on day 4 in Whittier, and you go south to Vancouver. That sounds a lot like what you're talking about. Look at the 12-day southbound Denali by Rail Explorer. You can do a group for the cruise, and then everyone can choose the land tour that they want to add on. Oh, well, yeah. Right here. Let's look at this one. Arrival into Fairbanks. Yeah, it looks like you get on the cruise at Whittier and then go south to Vancouver. Yeah, okay. So it looks to me like that would be our choices right there. If we want to do the 12-day Denali by Rail Explorer, or if we want to do this one, 11-day Fairbanks Denali Express southbound. Or wait, this one right here. This one. Because this one, you arrive in Anchorage. Again, you get on the ship in Whittier and you go to Vancouver. Okay, so for price-wise, you're looking at $2,018 per person if you did inside. But the price difference between the two options is $500 a person. So you have the 12-day Denali by Rail Explorer southbound, or you have the 11-day Denali Express southbound. $500 a person, cheaper. So that's the two options, I think. Norwegian Jade, both of them. Let's do a little experiment. Let's just say we were going right here, July. Well, it ain't that price. That must be on an off-peak season price right there. So anyway, let's just say we're going July 9th, $25.68 per person. Yeah, let's do that. Let's see what this comes out to be here, because I'm choosing balcony. We're doing it. We're choosing balcony. Oh, it's $2,000 more to go from inside stateroom to balcony. Ouch. Ouch. It stings. Oh. Category. Choose the category. You're not going to let me choose my category? Okay, never mind. Shoot, I'm liking, that's not too big of a price difference right there in the family balcony and the regular balcony. 205 square feet. Oh, well, this could actually be bigger. I don't know what. Anywho, more details. There's the layout. There's the little balcony. I guess that's the door you come in. Little closet. And there's a picture from the inside of the room. And you can sit out there on that balcony and just see everything. It's awesome. With group rate, it will be less, and then everyone gets the amenities. Yes. Yeah, it'll be less. We got to pay attention. It'll be, I'm going to say, and this is just a guess, and this is also looking at 2027, so I'm not looking at 28 prices. So guessing, I'm going to say it'd be around $4,000 a person. This is a 7-night. If we were taking this cruise, maybe just over 4,000, somewhere between 4 and 42, 4,300. So we'd probably knock 400 or 500, maybe $600 off that. Because Norwegian's really good about, usually they're really good about giving good group rates. So can't quote anything specifically without looking at the specific date and talking to them and stuff, but that's just a guess. There are some ways to save them a little more money as well. That's right. If only I knew someone that had hosted Alaskan group cruises before that could show me the way. All right, so for me, a family of 3, let's say it's 4,000. Let's say it gets knocked down to 4,000. Then you're looking at 8, 12,000. Well, no, the third passenger is probably going to be a little less. Usually third and fourth passenger are less. So if it's $4K for first and second each, that'd be 8. Maybe third passenger is 3. So that would be like 11,000. Okay, so that's just an idea of. But now let's go back and look at the itinerary. I want to know, what all does this include? So let's look. So one of our best value land tours for time-conscious guests, offering an up-close Denali experience tour of Alaska's largest city and moderate hotel properties. So 4-day pre-cruise land tour plus 7-day cruise, 6 ports, overnights in Anchorage and Denali. Alaska Railroad Adventure class from Anchorage to Talkeetna. Explore Denali with a natural history bus tour. Tour the Alaska Wildlife Conservation Center. Brief city tour of Anchorage. Ample time for optional activities in Denali, such as whitewater rafting, helicopter flight seeing, hiking, or one of the park service programs. Now, those optional ones are not included. So what they're saying there is you'll have some free time. If there's extra things that you want to do besides what the cruise tour offers, you will have some time to do that. And you could do some of these other featured excursions, which we sell short excursions. We'd have to look and see what kind of deals they have too. This is pretty standard here. Let's just kind of get a little breakdown of each day here. So you would fly into Anchorage, transferred to the hotel, same deal. Day 2, get up. Your cruise line tour director will greet you at your Anchorage hotel this morning, and you'll ride on the world-famous Alaska Railroad from Anchorage to Talkeetna, and then travel by motor coach from Talkeetna to Denali along the Sistina River, where you'll likely to see some wildlife. Along the rail journey, you'll wander the train, purchase a meal in the dining car, or just sit in your comfortable reclining seat and gaze at the magnificent scenery. Alaska Railroad Adventure Class features single level cars with high ceilings, large picture windows, and ample legroom. Open evening in Denali for optional activities such as rafting and things like that. All right, and then the next day, Denali and Anchorage. I think we kind of read over that a little bit earlier. Yeah. Yep. And then day 4, land tour Anchorage and Whittier. Late morning, enjoy a brief city tour of Anchorage. And then you go down the Turnagain Arm along the Seward Highway. Spectacular views of the Cook Inlet and I can't pronounce stuff. Mountain. A lot of pretty mountains. Let's just say that. Conservation Center, and get up close to moose, bears, musk ox, and other indigenous animals of the region. Continue on to Whittier to board Norwegian Jade for your 7-day Alaskan cruise at that point. So that sounds like an awesome day. And then day 4, Whittier feels like a world away, blah, blah, blah. Day 5, Hubbard Glacier. Look at that. Largest tidewater glacier in North America, awe-inspiring turquoise-colored face towers, nearly 400 feet tall. I would imagine you just don't understand until you're there and see it with your own eyes. Pictures do not do this justice. 400 feet tall, 250 feet or underwater, 150 foot tall. You're just looking at that big, you're not going to see anything like that anywhere else in the world. You may see bald eagles, seals, orcas, and humpback whales. I've talked to people that saw several while they were on theirs, just right from the ship. There's one right there. It is awe-inspiring. You see God's hand on every part of Alaska. Oh, yeah. Thank you guys that have tuned in for my first live stream. I'm hoping this will catch on and we'll get the word out. Even in our Facebook page, Lana, we can kind of tell people, hey, hop in, let's talk, let's look at, if anybody wants to bring anything to the table, hey, let's look at this cruise, I'll pull it up. Anybody that knows technology and is able, I can also do dual streams. I can actually show someone else's face. I know how to do all that stuff. I can show someone else's face over in the other corner and we can do like a dual stream and stuff, but I'd have to walk somebody through how to set that up. But that's things that I do have planned for the channel eventually on some of these live streams. And there's Juneau, Glacier Bay National Park, Skagway, Alaska. Oh, look how pretty that is. Ward Cove, Alaska. Oh, look at that. Oh, I taught a lesson with totem pose this year. Inside Passage. I imagine that's amazing too, because you probably got things going around on both sides of the boat. Had to FaceTime with the college student. You have to catch me up later. And then Vancouver, the saddest day. I just saw Lana post on Facebook a picture of the suitcases out in the hallway. The saddest scene at the end of a cruise when you got to set those out there. Whales playing alongside the ship. Oh, I couldn't imagine. It's one of those things, guys. I know it's going to cost money, but that's like when we went to Hawaii and it cost more than this. I'll go ahead and tell you. And we went through Norwegian. I don't regret it. I don't miss the money. I miss Hawaii. And that's the way it is. If you like to travel, once you've gotten it paid off, I tell you what I like to do. I pay on these trips over time, like we're doing right now with our summer cruise. Pay on these things off, and then when you get them paid off, you feel like, oh, well, maybe now I'll add me an excursion or something, you know? It just feels good when you get it paid off and it's done, and you know that when you get on that ship, all your food's paid for. Now, on this cruise tour, when we're on the land portion of it, it sounds like you're kind of on your own for food. I would like to see something. I feel like there's some meals included, though. I would like to see something that breaks down the detail. I feel like there's some place where you can, where it breaks that down. I know with Hawaii, I had a big printed thing. I had, what was it? The 11-day Oahu Explorer. Oh, yes. The first ever hurricane made landfall earlier today. Yeah. Breakfast is normally included. Okay. But yeah, it's one of those deals where, I mean, wouldn't you think that Hawaii had been hit before? You know, it usually it just skirts by. This was a direct hit. So normally it just skirts by. That's part of the reason why, oh, what was the name of that town that got burnt? Starts with an L. Sounds a lot like Lalana, actually. The town that burnt down in Hawaii. But anyway, it was because of a hurricane throwing massive winds. It went, I think, to the north of Hawaii, and the fire happened, and it just spread because of the massive winds. Lahaina. Yeah. I knew it sounded a little bit like your name. But yeah, somewhere here, let's look on the ship. Look at this beauty, Norwegian jade. How pretty it is. Look at that. And not a huge ship, guys. I just went on Mardi Gras 2 or 3 years ago, and it was like over 5,000 person capacity. 8 hours after you were there. Oh, that's so sad. But yeah, I did this several. That's the reason why I'm leaning toward Norwegian. Now we're going to look at Princess. But I'll probably do Princess the next stream. Because shoot, we've spent an hour on just Norwegian here, but I gotta say I'm a little biased toward Norwegian, and Alana can tell you their groups department is amazing. When we call, everything's taken care of. They're just so nice. And honestly, the amenities, you guys know that's going on the cruise with me this summer, the amenities that they give you they're just so good. I mean, some of these other cruise lines, they just don't. I got another group booked on Carnival, for example. I think they threw in $75 worth of onboard credit, and that's it. I mean, they really don't. But with this Norwegian group, we're getting, everybody gets 150 minutes of Wi-Fi. And where it's a 5-night cruise, you break that down, that's 30 minutes a day that you could spend on the internet. And I don't plan on spending a lot of time on the internet, but I can get on there at night when I turn in, or maybe when I first get up in the mornings and I'm drinking my coffee, check my socials, check on my family, and that's it. I don't want to be on the internet, but it's good to have it. So we don't have to buy it. It's included. 150 minutes per person. We get $200 onboard credit per cabin. We get $50 shore excursion per port. And something else, 10 photo package. And that's awesome that they throw all that in. Plus the group rate is cheaper than what you can. And I've already adjusted the price twice. We started out at $1,200 for a balcony room on this cruise. Lalana, I've got it down to $948 a person. I have knocked it down over $250 a person since we booked that cruise, took that group out. And that's because you use a travel advisor, especially me, specifically me, because even though that knocks I get a little commission, but that commission doesn't come from you. It comes from the cruise lines and our partnerships. And when I lower that price, I do lose a little commission. But I would rather have happy customers, because happy customers are returning customers. And I'm just an honest person. Those of you all that know me know that I'm an honest person. I'm going to treat you fairly. So I watch that every cruise that I have booked right now, I am watching. I get alerted if the price goes up or down, and I call and get it adjusted for you. That's what I do for my customers, and I don't charge a dime extra for it. I just appreciate you all. That's all right. They are referring customers. I know I've got 10 cruises going on right now that are getting ready to sell. 10 cabins. Some of them's on the same cruise. And when they get done, I'm confident that they are going to go out and give me a good referral, because I treat my customers right. That's just something that I do. And word of mouth spreads, because we're, especially in this community, small town, word gets out there. Hey, you need to give Kevin a chance. If he don't beat the price that's online right now, eventually he will when the price drops. Sometimes we at least price match, at least with cruise lines. Some of these land partners, though, are making me, yeah, I know, Lalana, ethics, morals. And, you want to be treat people the way you want to be treated, the golden rule. But we can look through here. You can look at the ship. You look on the ship, you can look at all the different restaurants and things. So this is going to be, if you're wondering, this is the Norwegian Jade. The only other possible one through Norwegian that we would go on would be the Bliss. It depends, but it looks like it's probably going to be the Jade. Onshore, let's look. But yeah, some of these land partners we're partnered with, I think our company needs to question. They need to treat us a little better. I won't name drop or anything, but I've been on the Jade twice. I'm very happy with this ship each time. Oh yeah, it's beautiful. That Luna looks good too. I was looking at it, and you went on that recently, didn't you? Lalana got to actually go to Great Tides Water Park, guys. You know how I told you it's opening in September? Well, she's got the inside scoop, and they were like, hey, Lalana, you want to go to this? And she was like, yeah, okay. She didn't even have to pay. They was like, here, Lalana. They just rode the red carpet out for her and said, here. And she's sending me all these pictures of her going through like the little lazy river and all that. That's awesome. But Luna looks very nice as well. I'm pretty sure that's the ship that you were on. I know that's the inaugural ship that it's going on here coming up. Someone had to do the sacrifices we make, right? The sacrifices we make. Whale and marine mammals cruise. What? Featured excursions. Are these included? What? Okay, these are the optional ones. There we go. Okay, these are the ones. All right. Yes. These are the optional ones. So like all that extra time I was talking about you can do some of these. But I'll have to look. I think our shore excursions group that we can get some of these excursions cheaper through. If they are offering any of these on these days, we might be able to get them cheaper there. Look at shorts. Yeah, right. And I'll be on there with them to help them pick those out. And I know most of the people that will be going with me on this group cruise. We got about 40 interested. We'll probably lose some when they see the price. Some people think, they're thinking of a Caribbean cruise and what they paid there. And then they're going to realize, Alaska's not the Caribbean. It's Alaska and Hawaii are going to be the two big price, because those are the bucket list ones. Okay. there's that. Staterooms and offers. Club balcony suite. What? What's this? You know, that's actually not. 272 to 285 square feet. 4988. And the other balcony's 4638. So you're looking at, that's not a bad price increase for that space there. 205 square feet versus 274 to 2. That's actually pretty good. I want to look at a picture. Had one that was aft facing club. We were spoiled. Indulge in your luxury bath? What? Where's a bath? Oh, there's a bathtub in there? Did it say there's a butler? Probably in this one. Right? Really? Well, anyway, that's not a bad price difference between club balcony and balcony there. That's something to think about, honestly. Princess will be the other one we look at if y'all want to be doing some homework before we do the next cruise next Sunday, next cruise night with Kevin. It's I was just wanting to go about an hour, and we've gone about an hour. I didn't know how long it was going to go. I was shooting 30 minutes to an hour, and we've done 180 degree view on the balcony. That's awesome. I've heard some people don't like aft or, you know, the front or the back of the ship. I don't have an issue myself, but I don't know. I mean, some people may. Now here's what Princess, just before we get off. The cruise portion of your trip will include all onboard meals, except for specialty, coffee, tea, milk, juice, non-bottled water, entertainment, casinos, onboard activities. Sounds like everything that all the other ones include. The land portion will include hotel or resort accommodations, train, bus, or flight transportation between destinations, transfers and baggage handling, tour guide, and some meals and drinks on the. Now this is Princess we're looking at. We will dive into that next time. All right, thank you guys so much for watching. Word of mouth, tell everybody Sundays at 8. If they want to come in with some questions, even if it's not about Alaska, I got a video coming out tomorrow about passports and why you need them. Do you have to have them? No, but you should, because they can help in an emergency. And I go over that stuff in my video tomorrow. Make sure to watch that. Give it a like. Hit that free subscribe button, guys, if you haven't yet. It's absolutely free to hit that subscribe button. It does not cost a thing. And, well, I think that's all. Thank you guys for chatting, and we'll keep it going. You guys have an awesome one, and I will catch you next Sunday night. Thank you so much.